Welcome, revelers. This is Off the Rails, Right versus Left. I'm the egomaniacal Rob B. And with me, as per the usual arrangement,
Bradley.
And man, our tons of fun friend's been kind of MIA a lot lately, but hopefully he'll join us later. So we're going to be talking about Fox News. We're going to revisit what the stock prices actually mean, because everybody's talking about Fox stock. So I want to revisit what it actually means again. And then I also want to talk about the letter that, if it's true, that Disney sent to DeSantis. Did you see about that?
No.
That was freaking interesting. Anyway, they're doubling down on woke with some bullshit, or at least it looks like they were. So we'll see how that plays out for them. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about on the show. And the show starts right now. All right, welcome, revelers. This is Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we think the left is evil. I'm Rob B.
And I'm Brad Lee.
And I'm Brian G.
And we are Off the Rails, Right versus Left. Again, we're doing this show because we think everybody needs to know that the left is evil.
Classic.
Evil.
All right, let's get into it. Classic. Okay, so Fox News, Tucker Carlson's gone. Everybody's been talking about it. Dumb move. Like, I think other than Jesse Waters and Greg, I don't think they really have a very deep bench over there.
Well, Bongino is only like one night, Saturday, and Mark Levin, he's on Sundays, so.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but what?
Okay.
Fox and Friends, I don't know how well that does in the morning, but.
Better than this morning with CNN. That's why they just fired Don Lemon, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess what really pushed it over the edge was that interview that he did with Vivek Ramaswamy, where he just got roasted by Vivek.
Well, anytime there's actually a real conservative, they will always roast the liberal because the liberals are talking nonsense. And even you and I talked about after that interview that he still pulled the punches way too early.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been dude, you're a hypocritical, full of shit piece of crap. You're worth millions of dollars trying to cry your approval.
Yeah, you're race baiting. You are the reason for the divide in this country.
Yeah, you're LGBT and black and a multi-millionaire. Shut the fuck up. You can't say that LGBT is oppressed in this country when everywhere you look, they're 50% of media, even though they're 3% of the population.
Right. And never once in his life did he ever have to work for nothing.
Right. So, yeah, he's like all these athletes that are sitting there crying about how there's no opportunity, blah, 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 when they're bathing in opportunity left and right.
Oh, bro, there's opportunity everywhere. You got the XFL, you got the USFL, you got the CFL, you got the Arena Football League. Not to mention and they all get paid to do that. It may not be as good as the NFL, but they all get paid to do it.
Right.
It's do you remember Portland wrestling?
Yeah.
Do you remember every Saturday night they'd have it, and they'd air it on fucking PBS or whatever?
Yeah, it was sponsored by Sandy Barr's Flea Market. Sandy Barr was the referee.
Right, and it was it was all George Peterson's, right?
Yep,
Tom Peterson, that's what it was. Tom Peterson.
Yeah, Weird Al even did a song. I woke up with the Tom Peterson haircut. Dude, that's some local trivia. Only people from the Northwest would know about that.
But those guys got paid for that. Well, even at small town wrestling shows that people had, I guess back in the day, I don't know if they still do that nowadays, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's always opportunity. I mean, I'm sure there's opportunity out there for me to go and play basketball in a league somewhere, but I wouldn't do any good. And
I'd be okay for about a month until my knees gave
all
out.
right, my lungs would be what gave out on me.
Yeah, I survived pretty good when I was in the Philippines and I was playing at the court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some knee braces, man. Get that the old what?
Bro, I tell you what though, like it man. Okay, so I was in this little fishing village, and I shit you not, they go out at like 4 a.m. and they go shrimping, right? So because they're shrimping, they're on the bottom of the ocean. So as they drag the nets in, they bring a bunch of sand with them. So then they spread the nets out on the one piece of continuous good condition pavement in the city, which is right there in the little village, which is right in the middle of the village. And they mend their nets there, and then they roll all the nets up and go put them back in the boats to take out the next day. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, all this is shit that nobody in this country hardly is willing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't see a lot of Thatcher shops anywhere around here.
Wait a minute. Okay, because I don't know what that means.
A Thatcher is somebody who weaves things.
Okay,
so
that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure because I'm sure most people don't know that either.
Yeah. So, and that's actually where the name Thatcher came from, was there were people that wove stuff. So a Thatcher back in the day would make roofs and nets because roofs were woven too. But then it ended up becoming just nets. So, but now like fishermen have to do it themselves because you don't see Thatcher shops anymore. There's no specialization anymore. Anyway, so they clear out the nets. The story was about the basketball there. So they clear out the nets, and guess what? That big piece of concrete, that's where the basketball hoops are. So everybody gets in the middle, everybody plays basketball, everybody puts in a bit to be part of the pot. Winning team splits the pot. Anyway, so the first time I played, man, I didn't score shit. Like I scored like 2 points, but I had like 30 blocks.
Of course.
So they couldn't shoot over me. So the second game that I played, like the offensive operation was pass the ball wherever the fuck I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I still ended up like with like 10 blocks. Anytime somebody tried to charge the hole, I just bat that shit the fuck out of there. Anyway, but like, and I got a good, like, we're playing to 23 and I got a good like 15 points. So like I was still killing, and that's going by one. So like I was like raining all over the place, but I wasn't fucking charging the paint. You know why? If I didn't get the ball, jump and shoot over them, ball was gone. They were so fucking fast. Okay. Now mind you, I'm wearing basketball shoes. The start of the first game, the first fast break, I get up there, I steal the ball, I plant my feet to stop, and I fucking slide right off the court, like good 20 feet. The fucking court is covered in sand.
Oh.
Now these guys are stopping on a dime, no problem, fucking running fast as hell, right? Uh-huh. They're all wearing fucking flip-flops. So that's like, that was part of the reason the first game I couldn't fucking score. All I could do was like block shots. Anyway, so the second game went a lot better. Well, he was here for a minute. Welcome.
He doesn't want to be on it.
Goodbye. Welcome. Goodbye again? No? Hey, he stayed. Anyway, so that
why don't you stay?
Yeah, so that was the interesting part. So but yeah, no, it was crazy. Like NBA teams need to recruit a bunch of people from the Philippines because I swear to God they're faster than Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah.
And we know that dude can play defense. So I'm just saying, you want to work a fast break, get you a Filipino point guard. Anyway,
silly.
That went off the rails. But yeah, so like there's tons of opportunity here. And you know, like the little video I put up, like people got shit twisted here. You know? But with the fucking Fox News and all that, like getting rid of Tucker has got to be the stupidest thing Fox News has ever done.
The biggest commentator.
Huh?
Their biggest commentator.
Yeah.
And he
So I
had
wonder where
nothing to
he's gonna end
do.
up.
He had nothing to do with the whole Dominion thing. He confronted her and he said, "You don't have any evidence yet. When you have more evidence, I'll have you on."
Right.
Yeah. He kept bringing her back, and never did she have evidence. And he called her out on it on the air every time.
Did he?
But
I
he was
didn't know he had her on even more than once. Did he even have her on once?
Yeah, the Sandy, what's her name? Yeah, he had her on like 3 times. But
Sidney Powell.
Is that her name, Sidney
Yeah.
Powell? Yeah,
Or whatever.
The Kraken.
Anyway, so here's the thing. What did Tucker actually allege? He didn't really allege a lot of shit. He asked some really good fucking questions. Yeah. Like the news broke about the biolabs in Ukraine, and he asked the question, why does our government have biolabs in Ukraine?
Right.
And you all heard the shit about Zaporizhzhia, right? Because they hushed that story down real good. In Zaporizhzhia, the United States tried to tell Russia to stay out of there because we have sensitive nuclear secrets in there. The fuck do we have nuclear secrets in Ukraine for? So, I mean, Tucker was asking the questions, and they didn't like him asking the questions. Why? Because I think his inferences were right. They call them conspiracy theories, but we've already learned that every conspiracy theory seems to be right.
Dude, okay, listen. When Russia, because Russia is the one who came out with the evidence of biolabs in Ukraine, right? When Russia first came out with that, everybody at the UN and NATO, they were saying they dismissed it automatically. That's Russian propaganda. That's not true. They wouldn't have anything to back it up. But Russia would bring the proof, and they would say, "Oh, that's Russian propaganda." Then Victoria Nuland comes out and says, "Oh yeah, we do have bioweapons there, or we have biolabs there, but it's not funded. It's not funded by the U.S." And their story kept getting changed as it went along. To eventually, Victoria Nuland said, "Yes, we have biological studies there, and we're afraid that if Russia gets their hands on it, that they could turn this into a biological weapon against the people."
Right.
Who cares if they have biolabs in Ukraine? I'm sure Russia has tons of biolabs.
Dude, here's my problem with it is you don't say that they don't exist, and then when they get found out that they do exist, lie about it and lie until you get caught lying. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I hope not, but that's pretty much what everyone does.
I'm divorced because that's how. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I'm just saying you shouldn't, but that's pretty much what everyone does.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm divorced because that's what liars do. Liars keep lying until even the lies don't make any sense anymore. Yeah. And then they treat you like you're crazy, like, you want me to believe that bullshit?
Well, the fact is, we're harder on us than anyone else is on themselves in the world. I mean, we look at what we've done wrong and we try to correct it. We try. Don't always succeed. Every other country is like, oh, pretty much we're perfect. We have no problems. I mean, just look at the way we fight war compared to every other war you've seen out there, like the one going on in Ukraine now. I mean, we get in trouble and we get beat up when we put underwear on someone's head in prison, where Russia sits there leveling cities, raping, pillaging, throwing grenades into pits with people shoved in there. And, nobody's really surprised. But the U.S. puts underwear on a prisoner's head, and it's like, oh, my God, the end of the world.
Oh, don't even get it twisted. Like, fucking, our government was ordering fucking dubious strikes.
Yeah, but not even close to what Russia's going through. Not even close. Yeah.
So, but I will point out, we did flatten 2 entire cities, plus half of Europe. So
during World War II.
We can't take. Okay, but I understand. But we did that
during World War II.
And you know why the Geneva Conventions and the rules of warfare came out? Because the Americans were like, "Oh shit, we don't want anybody to do what we do to everybody else."
80 years ago, which is way us, fought, and Russia's still fighting that way.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Do you think the Saudis are fighting in a different way? I mean, I guess they are because they're making improvised explosive devices. But I mean, those people. You want to talk about some brutal warfare? Those people, man. I don't ever want to be chained up by my arms and my legs, and then have battery jumper cables attached to my testicles.
Yeah, which just is an example of how pretty much everyone else fights wars in the world except for the
Right.
US.
But you know what? It's
Brad, I'm glad to hear that you don't want that.
but you know what?
You might enjoy it a little bit.
No, I hook them up to my nipples. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's the instant access to my genitalia. That's automatically not.
Lovely.
I was going somewhere.
Yeah, well, I know where Brad's going next.
Oh no, well, no, that's what I'm saying.
I couldn't resist.
I didn't even say it. But no,
You
what
knew
I'm
you were going
saying
there.
is like, of all those countries, and those people, how many go against like the government, right? They don't because they're scared to. Why? Because they have the harshest laws and they enforce the harshest laws in the most harshest ways.
Right.
Which means, it goes to Brian's point that we are the only country that actually really cares about what we do in war. Like if we stand a bunch of Arabs naked in a pyramid and take a picture of them, our people go to Gitmo. Whereas we're actually letting out actual terrorists from Gitmo.
We're really one of the only countries in the world that goes extremely out of our way now not to kill civilians and to target only certain people, certain groups. I mean,
unless you're Biden and you need to pretend you're getting somebody who's responsible for something.
We will sacrifice. We even sacrifice our own people sometimes to try to make sure we don't hit the wrong people. Now there are definitely bad people, and things do happen. It's war. That's disgusting, and we recognize it when we see it, and we try to fix it so it doesn't happen again. But other countries don't do that. I'm not saying England wouldn't do the same thing or some of those other countries, but nobody does it like we do. Nobody recognizes their own faults like we do.
Right.
Well, except we don't even know how much of our faults have been recognized or not, because as we find out more and more every day, the CIA and the fucking government has a fucking bullshit at everything.
Yeah.
So this is what I've got to say to the deep state.
Lovely.
I need to recenter that, but the point got across.
Lovely.
So, okay, so with the Fox News thing,
I'll be right back.
People are talking about they're dumping the stock. So I want to reiterate here, changes in stock price don't actually mean shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So them losing $1 billion of market capitalization doesn't really mean anything, since they have to pay $758 million.
Yeah.
And until their insurance pays out that amount, they're assumed to be on the hook for it.
Yeah.
But of course, I am quite sure that they have legal liability insurance about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah. I think Tucker definitely did sometimes lay things out more as fact than as supposition and inquisition. But how is that different than what CNN does every fucking day? Covington Kid, Michael Brown, fucking shit. Like, look at the shit going on with these shootings. Like, they've damn near convicted that old man, and we still don't have any of the facts. And yet they're trying to martyr the fucking crazy fucking tranny that shot up the school.
Well, it cracks me up because all the other media channels are trying to bash Fox over this one mistake they made compared to something which is something they do on a daily basis.
Yep. Well, hold on. I'm going to cut our YouTube feed and then we'll get deeper into that. For our fans, like, subscribe, share. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to go over to Rumble. We're going to continue the conversation after this little musical interlude.